So you've defined the culture, you've done all the work you've said. What happens if one of your most important partners is seriously going against those cultural norms you've agreed?
And that is a question I get asked every single time I'm working with a professional services organisation when we're working on culture. What's going to happen to the rainmaker, the person bringing in the big revenues, if they continue to be a bully or whatever it is they're doing, throw their weight around, be arrogant, not fill in their timesheets, not do the billing and that kind of thing. What's going to happen? Is somebody going to pull them up and challenge? And the reason I get asked that is because in the past, people can see whether you've got written down values or not, that's sort of not really acceptable behaviour, but that they're getting away with that. So I think there's obviously, the answer is that if you're really as a leader of a professional services firm, as a managing partner or a senior partner, whoever you are, someone in authority, you need to actually have the courage and the commitment to challenge that behaviour, right? To challenge it and to pull that person up on it, not let them away with it anymore. Now, what makes that easier to do if you have undertaken a culture change programme? What makes it easier to do is that if you have genuinely arrived at your definition of culture, your values and behaviours, by consulting really, really widely in the firm and getting consensus, right? Then it's not just you saying, hang on a minute, you're not doing this. It's sort of like everybody in the firm says, this is how we should be doing it. I can observe the behaviour because I've defined the behaviours. You're not doing it. And therefore, you can be quite objective in challenging that person's behaviour, okay? So that really, really helps. But yes, it's one of the hardest things that somebody in a senior leadership position will do. If somebody persistently undermines the values that you've all agreed, and they persistently do that and they get away with it, that can really upend your culture programme, because then people sitting everywhere in the firm will be looking and going like, oh, well, they clearly don't take it that seriously after all, or it's one rule for them, it's another rule for everyone else. So it's quite critical.
To what extent do you ever see organisations saying that this is important, but when it comes to actually implementing some of this, they struggle?
Yes, yeah, and I mean, we do see that quite a bit. I mean, if you ask me what are the common errors around what do people get wrong in culture change, I mean, the thing that most often people get wrong is, they might make a fair job of defining their values that they want to get to. They may even have defined them with behaviours and everything to support. But the biggest mistake is that's it then. They go on a poster, they go on the wall, and they don't actually do the main part of the culture change programme, which is the actual change. That whole raft of communication, organisational changes to like the artefacts of the culture and the behavioural change. They don't actually do the hard work to embed those, okay? So that's the most common error that I see, and there are plenty of organisations that do that. And the problem with doing that is that then when you really do need to do the culture change, you've done it before and it hasn't gone anywhere. You've just defined some values and people are going like, oh, well, that was, they didn't do anything about it.
We've been there, done it.
So yes, yeah. So it's the most common error that I see is that people never really get past the poster.
So how do people even think about having a conversation about culture if they feel they have a culture problem? Where do they start?
I think you'll often hear people saying, we need culture change, and people can sometimes feel a bit helpless because they go, okay, culture change, but what does that actually mean? So I think where you want to start is you want to just find a language to talk about it with people. You want to understand what is culture and what exactly is it we need to change and how. And I think it's about those. It's just really helping people to navigate through that and give them clarity about it, really. What is it? What do we need to change and how do we change it?
Jan, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.